Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the Giddy Knits podcast. As always, I am Helen and I am coming to you from Dundee in Scotland, where I live with my husband Tom and my two boys, Arthur, who is 8, and Jasper, who is 5. Today is Monday the 7th of March. Can't believe it's March already, but it is. And for anyone that is new, I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns, and this is my crafting podcast where I talk about whatever projects I've been working on, whether it's knitting, crochet, although I think it's all knitting this week, but yeah, whatever projects I've been working on. So, what have I got for you this week? I'm going to start off, as always, with a little announcement section. We've got some prize winners to announce because our mini make-along has wrapped up for the end of February. I have also got some works in progress to talk about. I've got a new cast on to talk about, which technically was a new cast on a while ago, but I've not been able to show it until now. I also have a little bit of Yarny Goodness to share, and then I'll finish up with a small shop news section at the very end. Yeah. Hello, welcome back. It feels like it's been a while. I didn't record last week because unfortunately we all got COVID. Fun. As you'll know if you watched my last episode, Jasper had tested positive for COVID on the Saturday. He obviously brought it home from school, and I was testing negative on the Monday, but then I woke up on the Tuesday feeling rotten and definitely testing positive, as did Arthur, and then a few days later Tom caught it as well, so it managed to pass through all of us. We are all now free and clear and out of isolation, and none of us were particularly ill with it. The boys had temperatures for a day, but nothing horrendous. They've had worse temperatures with bad colds. And I had, well, both Tom and I really had just a couple of days with a bad head cold. I'm still a little bit congested from it. And unfortunately, I have still not fully regained my sense of taste or my sense of smell, which is slightly concerning. I'm hoping that they will come back soon. As I said, I'm still congested, so I'm hoping that once that congestion clears, my sense of taste and smell will return. I was saying to Tom, it's quite funny because I can get like... I don't even know how to explain it. I was trying to explain it to him. So, like, I get a sense of strong flavours. Like, I can taste, like, that something is sour and salty and sweet. But if you gave me something sour and asked me to tell you what it was, and I didn't know what it was, like a blind taste test, I don't think I could tell you the flavour, but I could tell you that it was something sour or it was something sweet. So, yeah, it's interesting. I discovered last night that avocado, when you can't taste it, is not very pleasant. Anyway, that's what's going on. So yeah, I didn't record last week because I had everyone at home and I was frantically trying to catch up with work because I had a couple of days where I just could not work at all, and obviously I had everyone at home, so it just put me behind with clubs and everything like that. So thank you to everyone who has been amazingly patient with me, and the fact that clubs have gone out late. I really appreciate your patience, really do. But I'm slowly feeling like I am catching back up again now, which is good because I've got a yarn show at the end of the month and a lot of work to do for it. So, anyway, I'll stop rambling. Let's get straight into announcements, shall we? So we were running throughout February, although I now feel like I wasn't particularly active with it because... February was chaos. We were running a mini make-along, so any projects that used your mini skeins, less than 20 grams, that kind of thing. I haven't actually closed the threads in the Ravelry group yet, but I have gone and picked out winners. And across Instagram, Ravelry and Mighty Networks, the 3 places that you can enter any of our make-alongs, we had 31 entries, which is not bad for a little mini make-along. And I have drawn 2 prizes from that. I used random number generator and picked out 2 winners. So the first one was post number 13, which is Little Berry, who is Anne. I will pop the note on the screen. I will pop names on the screen. And you had knit a gorgeous advent wrap using Claire at Cookston Crafts, using her advent calendar, which was absolutely stunning. And the second winner was post number 21, who, again, it's another Ravelry entry, and that was Lace Wings on Heather, who is in America. And she knit a very cute little cat, which was absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations. If both of you can get in touch with me, you can do that via email, via Ravelry, via Instagram, any of those ways. If you can get in touch with me, I will get your prizes out. I have dug out a couple of little bits for prizes. So first of all, I've got these little, there's two different ones, these little sample packs. So these contain a 20-gram mini skein from each of one of my 3 collections. So I think this one has got Piglet, the Lavender Fairy and Lime and Coconut in. And this one has got Birthday Party, Rabbit and Primrose Fairy in. So you will each get one of those little mini sets, and then I've also dug out a couple of the last little hand painted notebooks that I've got. These were created by, oh, I've completely forgotten the name. I will pop it on the screen because I have forgotten the name of the artist that created these for me, but they are hand painted on the front of these notebooks, and these are just little lined notebooks. So you will each get one of those and one of the little mini sets, and I will get those in the post to you as soon as I hear from you. Basically, that's the plan. So congratulations. We do still have our Giddy Yarns Make Along that is running, and it's my ongoing one as long as you're using 50% of my yarn. All the details are underneath the video. And the next prize draw will be at the end of March for that one. Right, shall we move on to some knitting and some works in progress? So I feel like my knitting's a bit all over the place at the moment because I've just been picking up little bits here and there, and all I've really wanted to knit on is just really simple socks. Socks are becoming a bit of a theme this year. I'm really enjoying my sock knitting again, which is lovely. And it's at the detriment to other things, basically. So I did pick up my armour sweater and added a little bit to this. I still haven't quite worked out. I need to sit down and work out the length that I want to do before I change colour, because I think that's the issue I'm having. So that's the wrong side round. So this is the armour sweater, which is a pattern by Maddie Harvey, and I've shared it on the podcast a number of times before. I'm using 2 of my colourways. I'm using Deep in the Woods, which is the dark green, and Granny Smith, which is the speckled lighter colour that I'm using for the contrast. And I have separated for the arms. And I think last time I showed this, was I there? I don't know. I've added a fair bit. So I've separated for the arms, and I'm working my way down the body, which is now just round and round and round, not having to worry about shaping or anything like that. But it is supposed to be a cropped sweater, and I haven't quite worked out how cropped I want it. And you're supposed to use the contrast for the bottom of the body, but the picture on the pattern uses a lot less of the contrast than the actual pattern tells you to use, and I think I prefer that with less of the contrast. So I'm in that little dilemma where I can't quite decide where I want to start the body, like where I want to change and how long I want the body, and I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm doing. So at the moment it's very cropped. It just sits underneath my boobs at the moment. So I think I need to do, I reckon, another inch. Shall I do another inch and then change? I think that might be the plan. Another inch and then a couple of inches and then the rib. I don't know. I need to sit down and I need to think about it, and I need to look at some pictures of other patterns and get myself some ideas. I was hoping to get this finished for East Anglia. I'm still hoping to get this finished for East Anglia, but if that's going to happen, it's going to have short sleeves. But that's fine, because actually, if I'm going to be wearing it as a show sample and it's a DK sweater, tend to get quite hot at yarn shows, so something short sleeved is probably better. And I can always wear a long sleeved top or something like that underneath it if it is cooler. So yeah, hopefully I will get a bit more progress on that, and I might get it finished before the end of the month, which would be amazing if I can. I really need to prioritise it, don't I? What else? I've been working on Tom's sock. I think, I'm looking at my notes from last time, I'd cast this on last time, so maybe I hadn't put the heel in that case. So I have now put the heel in. So this is February's, oh, I'm a month behind. This is February's colour of the month. And if you are new, what I am doing, so each month I am dyeing up a colourway inspired by a different artificial intelligence art image from the Wombo Dream art app. I put in the month, so I put in February as the keyword, and then the artificial intelligence algorithm program thingy, I don't quite know the explanation of it fully, creates a piece of artwork using that keyword, and this is the colourway that I dyed based on the February one, so put February in as the keyword. I really love this colourway, I'm so pleased with it. There is some, I believe, still available on the website at the moment. They went up at the end of February, and there is some, I'm just double checking that I'm not lying to you about that. I can't find it. February. Yes, there is still some available. There is 120 gram sock set, a couple of 70 gram sock sets, and some 100 gram skeins available on the website at the moment, so that's good. So I added a blue contrast because I really liked the way that the blue picked out the blue in the leg, oh my goodness, words are failing me today, aren't they? I really liked the way the blue was picked out in the yarn. This is a colourway that contains quite a lot of colours. It's quite a complex colour, and I really liked adding the blue. I thought it was a bit different. I could have gone pink, but I thought actually no, I'm going to add the blue because I like bringing out the blue in this colourway. And what I'm doing, as I've said before with these, is each month I'm going to steal a 70 gram sock set for myself, and I'm knitting Tom a set of socks throughout the year because he only wears odd socks. So I'm knitting him a set of socks throughout the year where he gets a single sock in each of the colour of the month colourways, and then at the end of the year he'll have 6 pairs, but they'll be odd. So he'll have 12 socks. So that's the plan anyway. But yeah, I'm making progress. I'm working my way down the foot. I've done what, 40? Can't remember how many rows I need to do for him. I've written it down, but I think it's about 75, something like that. But I'm really enjoying just the mindlessness of vanilla socks at the moment, and every time I sit down, this is kind of what I want to pick up and work on, and as I said, it's to the detriment of other projects, but knitting is meant to be about kind of relaxing and enjoying yourself, isn't it? So you pick the projects that you want to work on and what you feel like working on. But yeah, Tom's sock is coming along. Hopefully I will have that finished by the next time I record a video. I've also been working on, and I think I put this, yes I did have this as a work in progress last week. I've also been working on the sample sock that I was doing for the Beatrix Potter Club, for the January Beatrix Potter colourway. So again, I will stick a timestamp on the screen now, and if you want to skip ahead so that you don't see the colourway, because I'm aware that those of you that have ordered the 3 months club and asked for it to be shipped at the end of March won't have received theirs yet, and if you're avoiding seeing spoilers, then I don't want to ruin it now. So yeah, skip to this timestamp and you will avoid it. So hopefully you've skipped and you're not here if you want to not see the colourway. But I finished the first sock. So here it is. I was just knitting shorty socks with these, and in all honesty, I'm probably just going to knit one, and then come back to knitting the second, or create myself a series of odd socks, possibly. I'm not sure. But I've not cast on the second one, and there's other socks that I want to finish before I go back and cast on the second one. But I think that's probably what's going to happen, is I'm going to end up with a whole host of single socks so that I've got them for the reveal photographs and stuff like that. And then maybe at the end of the year, I will either put them all together and give myself a series of odd shorty socks, or I will at some point knit the second sock. I haven't decided. Part of me wants to make myself a pair of shorty socks out of every colour, but also part of me is realistic and knows that there's no way that's going to happen this year. I'm not going to get every month. Like, I need to cast on the February colourway so that I've got it for when I do a reveal and when I list the spares, rather than start the second one of these. So I don't know. So I'm not sure whether I'm calling this a finished object and just making myself odd shorty socks, or whether this is still a work in progress and I will finish the second one at some point. I can't decide. Part of me is leaning towards odd shorty socks because it means that this is now finished and I can cast other things on. I don't know. But yeah, that is the Peter Rabbit colourway, which was the January Beatrix Potter Sock Club. If it would focus on it, you'd be able to get a nice view, wouldn't you? There we go. I'm really pleased with how this colourway came out. I absolutely love it. I did have a Peter Rabbit colourway in the past, so I felt a little bit odd dyeing a new Peter Rabbit colourway. But I feel like this is quite different, and I really do like how this has come out. I love the contrast of the blue for the heels and toes as well. Yeah, really pleased. So that is that one. And then what else have I been working on? I picked up my gnome because I wanted this to be my project for the mini make-along, but I didn't get it finished with COVID and everything. I just didn't have the headspace to concentrate on lots of things. But I have finished the body of the gnome. So here it is. He is a little bit wonky. I'm not sure. I had some stuffing issues, but do you know what? That's one of the fun things about gnomes, is that when they are a little bit wonky, it doesn't really matter. So here he is. I have knit the hat. He's got his little pocket all in place. I've knit the body. This is pretty much the only thing that would get me to knit this much 1x1 rib, I have to say. And I really love it. I love the body. It's so different with that ribbed texture and the little garter stitch bumps. See if I can get it to... There we go. It's such a fun texture for a gnome's body. And I had already knit his little rucksack, so I've got the little straps are inside there as well, so he will have his little rucksack. So the next thing I need to knit is the beard and the nose. And I've just dug out some undyed yarn to do that. So he's going to have a white beard and a white nose. I just need to dig out the right needles because it needs the larger needles and I didn't have them aside. So hopefully I will get on with that soon and we'll have another finished gnome. I'd quite like to get him finished for East Anglia because he can come on my display, because actually he is knit all out of my yarn, and I might make sure that I've got some of the minis in these colours if I get a chance. So you can always pick up a little gnome kit and knit your own little gnome. I've got one other gnome as well that's all in my yarn that can come and sit on my stall, possibly, if I get my act together. But yeah, gnome. So that is, I can't for the life of me remember the name of the gnome pattern. It is, no, I don't have it written down anywhere. It's the Advent one. It's the one that was started in December. So all of the gnome patterns are by Sarah of Imagine Landscapes, and I'll have it written down in the show notes underneath. So I want to say it's not Leave No Gnome Unturned. Leave No Gnome, I don't know. I can't remember what this one's called. But that is that one. I have also I've actually done a fair bit of work actually on my Cupid's arrow wrap, which I need to put aside so that I can finish off my armour sweater, really. But this was quite nice and mindless, so I did pick this up a couple of times over the last few weeks. And I've actually added, the last time I showed this to you, I was down where this stitch marker is. I was just working on that green colour. So I have actually added 3 colours. These are not going to come out very well on the camera, I don't think. But I have added that kind of, I do not know what type of colour green, mustardy green. And then those 2 speckled colours. And I'm now working on this solid minty colour, which you can't quite see because I've only just started. I'm only just on, in fact, I've not even done the first row of it on its own. I've done the, what's the word? The transition row. So you've got one of the solids, but a lot of the colour matches in with the previous one, so it's quite blendy, so you can't really see. But I'm getting there. I'm making progress. I had to move this stitch marker up because those 2 colours were so similar. I needed to move the stitch marker up so that I could mark where I'd started that colour so that it was easier to count the rows. But yeah, I've now got a significant amount of it finished. Getting there. Look. It's getting there. So the pattern, as I've said a number of times, is the Cupid's Arrow Wrap, which is a pattern by Ellie of Craft House Magic. And I'm using Spectrum Fibres, her 2020 advent calendar, to knit it in. And I think I've only got, let's have a look. I have only got 5 colours left. After the one that I'm currently working on, there are only 5 colours left. So I am getting through it. I need to focus on my armour sweater for the rest of this month, and then hopefully in April I will get on this again and get it finished. We'll see. I say these things, but they never happen, do they? Oh dear. So that is all of the works in progress that I've been working on. I'm all over the place this week. I feel like it's a really, I don't even know what I'm saying, but that's because I've had a week's break and I'm still in a bit of a panic about catching up with all kinds of things. I do have a new cast on that I wanted to share. And as I said, this is actually one that I cast on a number of weeks ago, but I haven't been able to share up to this point. And that is because this is the colourway that I have dyed up for the Perth Festival of Yarn, their Perth collaboration club. And I'm not sure which way around is it. I think I'm the April dyer, which means my pre-orders are available throughout March. So basically the idea is that they're creating a jukebox, and each of the dyers involved creates a colourway inspired by an album. Now, I'm not a big music listener. So when I was asked to do it, I loved the idea of being involved, but trying to pick some kind of album cover that fitted with me and fitted with kind of the type of things I enjoy and the type of things that I would listen to, but also fitted to some extent with my brand, took a bit of thinking. But in the end, I settled on the musical version of the War of the Worlds, which is a production by, I think, Jeff Wayne, and I listened to it so much as a kid with my dad. I can still, like, as soon as I talk about it, I can hear all the songs and all the words in my head. And, you know, it's been amazing, actually, since I put the post up on Instagram, the number of people that have said the same and that it means a lot to them and that they love it. I was fully expecting Tumbleweed. I was fully expecting to list it up and everyone to be like, oh, what's that? Why has she picked that? What is that? I thought it was going to be like my thing and nobody else was going to really know what I was talking about. So that so many of you have responded and reacted to how much you love that album as well is amazing. So anyway, my colourway, which is called The Chances of Anything Coming from Mars Were 1,000,000 to 1. the longest colourway name I've ever had. And here it is inspired by the album cover. It's very different for me. It's quite a dark colourway. I really, really love it. And I cast on a fuss-free festival shawl, which is a pattern by Louise Tilbrook. And it's just a really, really simple shawl pattern. It's perfect for a single skein of quite complex colourway, because it really, really shows off the yarn. So you can see how the yarn is knitting up. And I've got my little Sharky progress keeper there from Hannah at the Corner of Craft, marking my right side so that I can remember which is the right side and which is the wrong side when I'm working on it. But yeah, I love how this colourway is knitting up. Really, really enjoying it. So I'm trying to decide if my dad would wear a shawl of some kind like this, because he is the one that I always listened to War of the Worlds with, and I kind of wanted to make something for him out of this, but I'm wondering whether maybe I actually just need to rip this out and make him something different out of it, something that he would actually wear. Maybe I could make him some War of the World socks or something like that. Mostly I cast this on so that I would have a swatch or a sample so that I could share it with the photos. And I wanted something that would show off the yarn and wasn't just a pair of socks. But now I'm thinking about it more and more. I'd quite like to use this to make something for my dad. And yeah, I'm not convinced that he's the type of man that would wear a shawl. Not that men can't wear shawls, they absolutely can, but my dad is not the type that would. So I'm wondering whether I might rip this out actually and make him a pair of socks or something like that. But I do love how it shows off the colours. So yeah, this colourway, while I'm thinking about it, is available to pre-order throughout March, up until the 21st of March, I believe. But you have to order it from the Perth Festival of Yarn website. She has a form on there that you use to submit your details, and then I think you get sent an invoice. And then she collates all of those, and then I will get the orders at the end of March. I will get information as to who has ordered and how many skeins and everything like that. And then they will get shipped out by mid-April. So yeah, not available on my website, only available through the Perth Festival of Yarn website. But I'm really pleased with it, and I like it. It makes me smile every time because it makes me think of that album and it makes me think of my dad, and yeah, I love it. Okay, so that is all of my knitting that I actually have. So I do have some Yarny Goodness to talk about. And actually, after the last episode where I'd been to Unravel, I feel a bit guilty for having more Yarny Goodness. But these are club-style Yarny Goodness. So I got the next minis from Laura at Bumbling Yarns. I can't for the life of me remember which month this is, but these are her Downton Abbey minis. Aren't they gorgeous? I'm so desperate to start the idea that I've got for this blanket. I really, really am. I'm tempted to just start doing all the squares for these and just start making squares, and then I can assemble them at some point in the future, but I really shouldn't because I've got so many other things that need to be done, but I'm really quite excited about the idea. So yeah, these are the Downton Abbey minis from Laura at Bumbling Yarns. I didn't order the Stargate ones because it's not a TV series that I was particularly drawn to or particularly watched. I did love the Stargate film, but I never got into the TV series. Anyway, and I haven't seen, I don't know if we've got the next month is up yet or not, so I don't know. But as I said, with this one, I'm kind of dipping in and out with the months that are TV series and stuff that I actually watched and really enjoyed. So Downton Abbey definitely had to be one of them. And then the other thing that arrived is both of these are from Hannah at the Corner of Craft and Chromatic Yarns. The first one is her Knitical Roll Yarn Club, which, as I've said, I'm joining in with this throughout the year because she is dyeing inspired by campaign 3 of Critical Role, which Tom and I are actually watching and keeping up with, we are watching it together and keeping up with it, and the idea of having colourways that I can relate to inspired by something that I'm watching as I'm watching it really, really appealed to me. So this month's is this gorgeous colourway. I'm getting it on the merino sock, which is an 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And this colourway is called I Hit Things for Money, and it is inspired by Ashton, who is Talison's character. He is he's an earth genasi, I believe. Oh yeah, barbarian, an earth genasi barbarian, I believe. But he is very colourful, and this is very, very well representative of him, and it's gorgeous. So that is that one. And then I also picked up the mini skeins of Hannah's Resistances collection because I couldn't resist. And aren't they gorgeous? The whole collection that she launched is absolutely gorgeous. Basically these colourways are named for different types of resistance that you get in D&D. So I've forgotten what all of them are, but there's like poison resistance, cold resistance, lightning resistance, poison resistance I think was one of them, etc. And generally in D&D, like, your character can wear something that is like, I don't know, a ring of poison resistance, or and it gives them obviously resistance to that type of damage. So I'm kind of tempted to put them all in one project and knit myself something, and then when I'm playing D&D, particularly when I'm playing it with my brother as the DM, I'm quite tempted to turn around to him and be like, well, you know, if I'm wearing this, then we could say that my character is wearing it, which means that I'm resistant to all of these things during the game. Yeah, he won't go for it. He won't go for it. He is quite a strict DM. But it would be fun. And they're gorgeous. So, yeah, they are just stunning. So they make me very happy. Right, last little bit, and that is just a little bit of shop news. I'm looking around my table and trying to think if that is the last bit. I think it is. It's just a little bit of shop news. Just to say, basically, I am going to be vending at East Anglia Yarn Fest at the end of March. It's the 25th, 26th, 27th, Mother's Day weekend. At the end of March, I am vending. It's quite a distance for me. It's a good 8+ hour, just over 8 hour drive, and normally I wouldn't travel that far. So if you are in the east of England and you are able to come to a yarn show, then do, because it's probably the furthest south that I will be vending for quite a while. I'm going to Sheffield. I'll be at Wilmonte, which is Sheffield, but that's not quite as far south, I don't think, is it? I don't think it's quite as far for me to travel. I don't know. Anyway, I will be there. I am in full prep mode at the moment. I will have lots of self-striping coming with me. I will have a new collection launching. I have lots of exciting ideas about my stall. And I'm hoping that I pull it all off. So yeah, that'll be fun. I will hopefully have colour of the month for this month. I won't be taking it to East Anglia because it's pretty much going to stay as a website only thing, but I'm not sure whether I will get it up before East Anglia or whether I'll get it up after East Anglia, but I will let you know as the month goes on whether or not that's going to happen or how that's going to happen. But there will be a colourway for March. I just need to work out how I fit it in. There's got to be a colourway for March because otherwise Tom will be missing a sock. Right, I need to get on. I have lots to do. And I will see you all again next week, hopefully. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.